Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at the M60E4 light machine gun. The M60 was the standard light machine gun of the US military until being largely replaced by the M249 in 1984. It's still in use today in specific roles by the US and in the militaries of various other countries around the world. The M60 is also the gun famously fired from the hip in the Rambo movies and has made an appearance in nearly every movie about the Vietnam War ever made. Unlike the M249, which fires the smaller 5.56 round, the M60 fires the full-powered 7.62 NATO round, and is considerably larger. For this reason, and for the fact that in combat conditions it's not the most reliable weapon, during the Vietnam War the M60 was nicknamed the Pig. In Battlefield 4, the M60 was introduced as part of the Second Assault DLC, and unfortunately, as far as LMGs go, it's not a particularly good one. Along with the M240B and the PKP, it's one of the slow-firing but hard-hitting LMGs, dealing a max damage of 34 out to 8 meters, which drops off to its minimum damage of 25 at 75 meters. This translates into roughly a 3 to 4 shot kill at close range or a 4 to 5 shot kill at long range. It's the slowest firing machine gun in the game, firing at a painfully slow 570 RPM, which means it deals less damage per second than both the M240B and the PKP. It's also the slowest reloading weapon in the game, taking a ridiculous 7.8 seconds to reload, and being a belt-fed weapon, it doesn't have a faster tactical reload either. Fortunately, it does have a 100 round capacity, so you shouldn't need to reload often, but when you do, you want to make sure that you're in good cover. It's got a decent kick of 0.6 up, 0.4 to the left and 0.3 to the right, which is only slightly better than the M240B and about the same as the PKP. Either way though, there isn't a noticeable difference between the recoil patterns of these three weapons, so it certainly isn't a big advantage for the M60. Another slight benefit to using the M60 over these weapons though is its improvement to hipfire, which at 5.25 when standing is still pretty inaccurate. So the question is, what is the M60 good for and why should you use it over the M240 and the PKP? Well, the short answer is, it's not really worth using at all. If this weapon was slightly more accurate than the other LMGs, or if it was more controllable, then it could probably have been a decent long-range weapon. The fact is though, it has the same base accuracy as all of the other LMGs and it's not any easier to control. Both the M240 and the PKP have the edge in rate of fire and reload speed, which are both far more important than the M60's meagre advantages. But ignoring the fact that nearly every LMG is better than the M60, in its own right, it's still not worth using. There's countless other weapons that'll outdamage it at all ranges, and using this weapon for a run and gun close quarters playstyle is one of the most frustrating things that you can do in the game. Without a bipod, this weapon is probably most useful at longer mid-ranges, but at these ranges, the average assault rifle is still going to be more accurate, which will offset the M60's higher damage. So what attachments, if any, will make the M60 more effective? Well, honestly, I think the only real way to be effective with this weapon is to keep your distance and use it to defend an objective. I wouldn't normally recommend a bipod on any weapon because they make you an easy target for enemy snipers, but on the M60 I don't really see any other option. With this setup, you can also throw on a heavy barrel and you'll have a reasonably accurate high damage long range machine gun. Getting into close quarters though is not something that you'll ever want to do with this gun, and you certainly don't want to be engaging targets that are shooting back at you. If you absolutely do have to move with this weapon though, I'd suggest running with the suppressor and the stubby grip to at least stay off the minimap and preserve some accuracy. As far as optics go, a 1x and magnify should be more than enough for anything that you'll want to do with the M60, but regardless of what sight you choose, most of the time you'll feel like throwing the gun at the enemy will be more effective. But anyway, to finish up this review, needless to say, I'm not a big fan of the M60 and I dare say many of you guys aren't either. I'd definitely say that this gun is a contender for the worst gun in the game, which is a shame because I would have loved to run around like Rambo, firing this gun from the hip at anything that moved. Nearly all the LMGs are pretty disappointing, but I honestly think this one takes the cake. If you're looking for a high damage LMG, you'd probably be better off running with the M240B instead, because that gun is actually pretty decent. But anyway, that just about wraps it up, and as always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. If you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. And if you have any suggestions about weapons or loadouts that you'd like to see on this channel, then please let me know in the comment section of this video or send me a tweet on Twitter at BillyEatWorld. But until next time guys, see you later and have a good one.